Hey guys, it's Brian from Sienna Studios, and today we're prepping the surface to continue pouring for this wholesale order we received a few weeks ago. I'll begin by reusing some plastic trash bags since we don't have that many pieces left to make, and I also don't feel like setting up the whole table, so this will do. We started pouring our white stone color. The piece we're making is El Candelabro, which is a 3-tiered candle holder. Our customer ordered one of these in stone and one in blue haze. After, I started cleaning some Sienna coaster molds as backups in case we have some extra concrete to pour. While I'm doing this, Christian is starting to make a batch of our color blue haze. Everything is mixed by weight to ensure our pieces come out identical every single time. He's mixing the pigment with the water first to make sure it gets mixed evenly. Once that's all mixed up, we like to swirl it around to remove any tiny air bubbles. Now we pour in the concrete. Please wear a respirator mask if you're doing this indoors. You don't want to breathe this stuff in since it's toxic, but after it's all mixed up and smooth, we begin pouring again. The next part of this order is for 4 more Matisse candle holders. Here's what those look like. And we're making 5 just in case we need any extra. We can never have too many of these since they're one of our most popular designs for wholesalers, and it seems like we can never keep them in stock.
Your love is what I need.
After 3 hours, it's demolding time. We like to wait a full 3 hours because it ensures that the pieces are fully formed, and honestly the molds come out way cleaner, so it's a win-win. Now it's time to pull out this candle holder. This is usually a 2-person job and a workout as well. I swear this is so difficult to get out since it's like suction cupped in there, but it's also so worth it once it does pop out. Here are the 4 Matisse candle holders in blue haze that we needed, and here are 3 backup pieces that we ended up pouring. We have 2 Sienna coasters in blue haze and 1 in stone. Now we can scratch this off of our list and begin cutting some cork that we need for a pair of splat coasters. We custom cut all of our cork with our Cricut so that the edges come out super clean. After they're stamped with our logo, we like to lay them on our pieces to make sure it's the perfect fit. Once approved, it's time to peel and stick them on. Christian started crumbling some packing paper for these splat coasters. Crumbling the paper helps provide volume and cushion during shipment. We like to think this is why our pieces don't break as often in the mail, and we like to use recycled heavy-weighted craft paper so we make sure everything's sustainable and recyclable. This order is now complete and ready to be dropped off at the post office. The next morning, it was time to start prepping the Matisse candle holders for sanding. We love using these organization things with pull-out drawers. We've been using them for the past 2 years and have never had any issues. They're great for holding water and letting our pieces soak before sanding. Now I'm filling up the trays with water and I'm making sure the pieces are fully submerged. We let these soak anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour before sanding. We find that wet sanding is way easier than dry sanding and it's less messy. After an hour, they're ready to sand. We were asked recently how we keep the sanded water from going into our pipes, and the answer is we don't use our drains at all. We have this plastic bucket that fits inside of our sink, which makes it portable and easy to dispose of the water. We also use a rubber drain stopper in our sink so that we know nothing's going down, and if any drops do get in the sink, it's easy to clean up with a sponge. Also, I'm sorry if I sound so congested. We've been sick for the last week, and I've been holding off on doing this voiceover, but I couldn't wait anymore, so it is what it is. For some context, I'm usually the one sanding the pieces, making sure they're even on the bottom and laid flat, and then I pass them over to Christian for him to sand the edges. Once he's done sanding the edges, he rinses them with water and sets them aside to dry. We finally finished sanding the final 16 pieces and started cleaning up. Our studio is basically our kitchen, so we always have to make sure that we fully clean before and after. Here are all the pieces. We're gonna move them over to dry on these terry cloths for the next 3 days. After days of drying, it's time to set up the racks for ceiling day. The number one question we get is, what sealer do we use? And we hate to disappoint you, but we make our own sealer, and unfortunately we're not going to give out the formula, but it is non-toxic, food safe, and it has a beautiful glass-like finish. We like to dip our pieces to saturate them in sealer. This allows the sealer to fully penetrate into the pieces, and we've had the best results this way. Every piece has to go through 4 rounds of sealing. This means Christian has to seal these pieces a total of 64 times. This sealing process took Christian about 45 to 50 minutes to do. We already completed the other half of this wholesale order earlier this month, or else this would have taken way longer. We're gonna let these pieces cure for the next 24 to 48 hours, but in the meantime we have a lot of cork to cut. I'll make sure to film that process in the next video, but for now, here's the final result.